Welcome back to the LPL, and we've got something a little bit special planned for you guys. See, today is the anniversary of the LPL, and so we're going to have a show match. We've invited some legacy players. I have my lovely analysts. I get to be the host, so buckle up, because it's about to be a ride.
This is weird. Yeah, I will say this end of the desk is very alien to me. I'm not really sure what I'm meant to be doing
I've never sat on this side of the desk before.
Same.
It's been about 2 years since I've tried to be an analyst. It doesn't usually work.
Same, but we'll be your analyst today.
We're going to see if it is going to work. I needed 2 play-by-play casters to back me up for this one because we have some incredible names playing on the stage. You just watched a great video that kind of went through the years of the LPL, showcasing a lot of those big highlight plays. We have Tomei, Lucky, Korn, FCZF, Wei Xiao, Name, Cloud, Hakai, Kid, and Going all playing in this match. Usually when you get a show match, it's like some audience members, it's some pop stars, and then maybe pro players. Nah, every single one of these guys has been a legend in his own right.
Yeah, legitimate legends. And I mean, like, obviously one that stands out to me is Kid, since we literally saw him the other day in his final game.
Did that guy just retire?
Yeah,
He's
it's
not
like,
supposed to be on the stage.
Hang on, isn't it meant to be like a probation period before you're like considered, okay, now you can come back as a legend? Like, he's been gone for like 2 days.
There's 2 players that have been gone for 2 days. Korn is still playing for TOP.
He's still playing,
He is still the mid laner for TOP.
Get this guy out of
him
here.
up.
So currently on your screen is Tomei. It means strawberry in Chinese. If you recognize him, it's because guess what? He is the legendary World Elite top laner. Left the scene because he decided to settle down, have a family, has a beautiful daughter, and you can see some of his records sitting up right there. He is going to be playing top lane for us today.
Yeah, but what team? We've got 2 different teams. We haven't given them any names. And there's Lucky on your screen. He'll be playing in the jungle for the same team.
Yeah, formerly of Starhorn Royal Club up into the jungle, was known for his Elise, attended with Uzi for the 2013 World Finals.
I like how Fish automatically just went into hosting mode.
Yeah.
And just saying, I'm
No,
Lucky
this is-
here. We'll be playing
This
in the
is
jungle.
so weird.
It's mine.
You're the one that knows everything about all of these players, where Pulse and I are just like, you know,
Frost comes to us and is like, so tell me about this player. And we're like, so tell me about this player, Frost.
And now, Frost, back to you on your screen. That is going to be Korn. He is the mid laner formerly of Starhorn Royal Club, now currently back into the LPL. Now, what's cool about Korn is that the first time that he attended Worlds in 2014, looking down the barrel of Samsung White, he was 16 years old. What were you doing at 16? I couldn't even talk to girls.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah,
What was
same
I
to
doing?
you.
I
I
was-
don't even remember.
I was still in high school at 16 years
Well,
old.
most people
Or
are, to
flunking
be
out of high
honest.
school.
Yeah. I mean, SOFM was like, what, 14?
Oh, that kid got banned very young into his League of Legends career.
Great analysis on the draft, guys.
They haven't drafted
Thanks, host.
anything, Frostgoon.
That's fine. We're talking about the rosters, and guess who is coming up next?
Steak. I don't know.
Cloud?
We've had Korn.
We should be at the AD carry.
FCZF?
Name? No, Wei Xiao.
We were
It is
close.
the Godfather himself. Both of you are fired. Wei Xiao, if you don't know who this guy is, if you're new to League of Legends, go back and look at him. Before orb walking was a thing, he was the guy who invented it. The reason why ADC is played the way it is because of Wei Xiao. He was the first guy to use the Ezreal Arcane Shift to disengage instead of using it forward for damage. And what's cool is he's paired today with his original support, FCZF. You may have remember him from EDG back in 2014, but previously he was the OG tactician of World Elite.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've heard some of these names. Of course, I've been casting the LPL for like a year and a half, but like hearing some of these names, like you as any type of viewer will remember them from the international stage.
Yeah, FCZF actually hand-picked Mako to be for EDG, so EDG's new captain star support was born right there.
So
That is fantastic.
I just got confirmation from our producers, and I'm going to take over host mode for a little bit.
What?
here.
That's rude. I was
Because
doing so well.
we have team names.
Oh
Ooh.
no.
So Chaomei, Lucky, Korn, Wei Xiao, and FCZF, they are on the team called Lao Shiji.
Okay,
And then Going, Kid, Haokai, Name, and Cloud are on the team called Lao Chezhen, which are both synonyms for very experienced cab drivers. And they're not very PG-13 friendly names as well, so to speak. They have synonyms behind it.
good to know.
So we
Okay.
should make some English names for our English
I was going to
speakers
go
back
with the
home.
home team versus the other guys.
The home team versus the other guy. Who's the home team?
I'm going to say it's the guys on our screen right now, because Kid most recently has played for the LPL.
Yeah,
Korn
literally
is still
played the other
playing for
day.
the LPL.
But
And they're opposite teams.
We could do the
So,
Red Barons and the Blue Dragons.
Red Barons and the Blue Dragons.
Wait, we could just abbreviate the Chinese names.
Or we could, yeah, LSJ and LCZ.
Hold on, I'm gonna write
Or
this
we
down.
could, because they're both about being experienced cab drivers, we can also talk about, we could give them...
Wait, I know
English
this guy.
names.
This guy's a caster.
Yes, Hawkeye is a caster. He has been bold for the past 6 years, I believe, because in Season 1 he made a bet saying that he will shave his head until LPL wins a World Championship, which the LPL is not.
Wow, that is some
What a
commitment
legend.
to a bet.
Also used to be the mid laner for World Elite in Season 1. So now a caster, and that is a shiny. I'm blinded from here. The glare off his head.
Yeah, I think he probably actually waxes as well. That's straight up dedication.
Here we go. Name returns, formerly of Edward Gaming and formerly known as Devil from Positive Energy. Name does have an LPL title to his name all the way back in 2013. He also then held the record as the player who has appeared, well, now Clearlove holds it, in the most LPL finals over anyone. Considered the best AD carry in 2014, collapsed on the international stage, and then just kind of fizzled out, makes his debut across from Wei Xiao. What's cool is that Name historically used to really shit-talk Wei Xiao.
Oh boy.
Well, Name is a player that we even talk about like today. Like this guy's legacy definitely lives on. He's one of the few players who will make a play or do so well back in their own time that people will literally talk about them for years and years on end.
It's because you have to sit next to me, I'm sorry. Standing next to him in the bottom lane is going to be Cloud. Now, Cloud has played for multiple teams, OMG, QG, as well as JD. He's had a stint with so many different ADCs, and unfortunately just has a reputation that his personality never quite suited it. He went all the way to the 2014 Worlds semifinals with OMG, and in the comms talking to the coach, what happened is he threw the Thresh hook forward. This was the game that Insect was playing Fiddlesticks. Going was saying back up, disengage, disengage. Thresh hook comes forward, the team follows through, Fiddlesticks ultimate completely annihilates OMG, comms go silent, and they get smashed in that semifinal, leaving Uzi to his second berth in a World Finals.
That sounds like every single game we play with Razzleplasm, to be honest.
That's actually true, yeah. No tank Jarvan, of course.
But he is a Thresh god. That guy is unreal on the champion. I know we say this all the time. No, Cloud is actually the best Thresh player I have ever seen play.
I mean, Cloud was playing it up until somewhat recently back on QG, as you mentioned. You just hit your
I
leg
just
very
nailed my
hard.
leg,
I
and
felt
the camera
that.
comes directly back.
We were talking about how, we are uncomfortable this side. No, Frusco just does not understand the host table right there.
That said, we're going to give me some time to find some ice because we're actually going to throw it over to a memories video. So guys, take it away before we get into draft.
LPL 在我心里有很多记忆，跟放电影一样。因为 LPL 我到过中国很多地方，大部分比赛我都去过。
未来本周第一天的 LPL 比赛已经来到了第2个 BO3。
喜欢 LPL，跟它相关的事情我都觉得挺有意思。
比赛开始前最开心的就是为喜欢的队伍加油。
气场上绝对不能输。
看比赛的时候，心情跟坐过山车似的。
眼圈疯了，对，从这一波已经 RNG 拿下来了，
拆得很快 ，W 是追上 RNG 上路的一个高地血晶。
选手认真打游戏的表情挺帅气的。
你就说这个操作溜不溜？
很容易被现场的声音感染，
有时候会跟着一起哭。
我该不是疯了吧？
如果我能看到他们赢，就更爽。LPL， 赶紧再拿个世界赛冠军吧。
LPL 再一天，我就粉一天。
一代又一代。变了很多，也成长了很多。
5个选手
5次失落
，5个击杀，5次欢呼
，5个周年。
And we're back from that. We are actually flying through band picks, so I was actually getting quite emotional watching that, but you can already see on the screen we've got a lot of signature champions.
Oh yeah, I'm going to predict Olaf, Elise, Fizz, Ezreal, and Thresh will probably be picked on blue side here.
Okay, play-by-play casters, this is what I'm going to point out. Going is known as the best Renekton in China. He has got a signature champion. Korn is known as an incredible Fizz one-trick. I talked about the godfather, Wei Xiao himself, who invented how to play on Ezreal. Guess what? You also get that. He's got Thresh side by side, and Lucky went to the Elise special in 2013. Lucky.
Luckily for FZZF, there is no fiddlesticks on the opposite team, so it should be fine. Kid's also on his Graves jungle, the champion that we memed him about when he moved over to the jungle position, because it was perfect. And AD carry moves to the jungle, he plays AD carries in the jungle.
Yeah, and he was actually very good in the jungle for the longest time. In fact, he was very much paired with Duke in the top lane. It was just like, well, if the Shy is playing, then maybe we'll bring out Ning, but he was paired with the old guard in Duke. They just kind of had this synergy going, so if you wanted Duke to play in the top lane, you'd bring Kid alongside with him.
Yeah, but now he's looking across at Lucky, and it's a little bit recent. I feel like Kid actually has the advantage, not just because he was a great jungler at the time, and nothing against Lucky, but he was quite lucky sometimes with smite steals.
I'm really curious.
But Kid has most recently played.
I'm really curious what a lot of these players are doing now, because we know that Halle is now moved on to be a shoutcaster.
Yeah.
Going had a bit of a rap career shortly there.
Oh boy.
He also dabbled in some ownership in the LSPL, trying to credit ownership to one of the teams. So, Tao Mei, like I said, has a beautiful family and left the LPL to become a father.
Have any of these guys become, you know, the PUBG professionals like the God V and the Luca have?
Mate, if this was a PUBG competition, we'd be on a completely different level than what I think we're about to see.
Oh boy.
Godby, I believe, won something recently as well, so congratulations, Godby.
Well done, Godby. Bringing pride to the LPL, even though it's not legalized.
Does he fire behind himself towards the base?
That's actually funny. A few people can say that they've won titles and multiple esports titles. That's straight up impressive.
So there's adaptations to the name as well. One of them is called the Summoner's Rift Experience Cab Driver. The other are the Champions Experience Cab Drivers.
Well, what are we going to call them?
We need something easier, because my brain cannot process all the Mandarin.
Or we could call the blue team Uber and the red team Didi.
Got it.
Works for me. So for guys who don't know at home, Didi is the Chinese equivalent of Uber, essentially. We use it every single day. Thing's great.
There's some disorganized chanting going.
Wait, I can hold up. TSM!
Oh
yeah,
my god, you've done it!
There we did it.
Get that guy a t-shirt.
Okay, well, now the crowd's shouting TSM. So yeah, usually in the crowd, it's organized and you have the 3 cheers because they actually have fan clubs. So they split it between in the audience straight down the middle, and then one person will lead the chant. However, today, because we have so many different players and so many people have just appeared because of the players on stage, like one by one, not because of the teams, it's disorganized. So everyone's just kind of cheering all over the place.
Yeah. And they're just yelling out their names and their nicknames as well. You can't even like grab a team organization as... We are going to go ahead and take a look at the keystones.
We are indeed.
Great keystones.
Great keystones.
Glacial Augment Olaf in the top lane. Of course, I'm going to focus in on the top lane here. Renekton has gone for Press the Attack.
So am I play-by-play? Am I color here?
Wait, what's going on?
I don't know.
Am I meant to be an analyst? Am I meant to be...
You're the secondary analyst. Okay, I'm analyst, you're analyst, you're play-by-play.
I'll be a bridge.
So I'm the bridge and you're the main play-by-play. We did it. We actually made casting assignments.
Hey, there we go.
Aren't show matches great?
Shout out to Rusty who, you know, copped out and left.
Yeah. Screw that guy.
It is always a story. Like I said, normally these show matches have a lot of either fans or kind of superstars, people who don't play League of Legends. It's not often that you get to see, again, 5 legacy players really duke it out on the Rift and pretty much all their signature champions.
I mean, we casted a show match in Guangzhou when we had Jay Chou. Wasn't that amazing?
That guy took Master Yi jungle with teleport. It was so next level.
Oh my god.
I've never seen someone hit so hard.
Also, it feels like such a Jay Chou thing to do. It's like Master Yi jungle.
Why is that such a Jay Chou thing to do?
I don't know, it's just kind of the personality, the swagger, the Yi main.
The Yi. What? I never knew that Yi mains had swagger. Come on.
They have something.
Oh, that's not right.
I'm going to take a look at this top lane here. You know, at some point, I am going to pass off to you, Fish, and you are going to take a team fight from me. So just be ready for that.
Wait, here's the thing. So Going, famously known for Renekton, considered the best Renekton player in China. The international stage may remember him as God Going. He has a Renekton onesie. It's technically just an alligator onesie that he wears on stream to play this champion. That's like, that's how ingrained it is.
So is he French?
Oh boy. When we had Godby playing on the international stage, he was quite often called Goldby. Is Going ever called Gold Going?
He's called Big Brother, actually.
Big Brother?
Oh.
Yeah.
Why is he Big Brother?
Because of the UK TV show Big Brother.
He's he was the big brother of the team on OMG, had the incredible plays, really carried them. And it's funny too because Western fans consider Going really handsome because of his defying jawline.
Yeah.
He's actually not considered extremely handsome in the Chinese audience. They find players like Jackie Love really handsome. They think that Going looks a little bit too blue collar, a little bit too like average. And I was like, damn, average people in China must be hot.
Well, he is a handsome man.
But slightly depressing for the rest of us, but
if Going was the the big brother of his team. Who's the big brother of the casting team? Because he used to have Jake Spawn Tiberi. Rip.
It's still Jake Spawn.
It's still Jake
Yeah,
Spawn
he still
Tiberi.
is. He just went out for cigarettes and never came back.
Oh no.
And this is how we ended up here. We're gonna take a look at the at the rune set here: Glacial Augment, Boots, Biscuit, and the new one. So obviously, just trying to get some movement speed out of the potion pop.
Yeah,
What is it called? Toxic tonic?
No, it's a tonic.
Toxic player.
Toxic.
Every time
he's
I see
playing
it, I'm
all
just
up
like, it's
top.
toxic.
Oh, Name accidentally dodged the hook.
Name doesn't
that's
accidentally do anything,
He
sir.
didn't even see him. He was in the bush, it wasn't watered, and he just stood there and auto-attacked a minion.
What
Thresh
is Thresh
sense,
gonna
that's
do
what
from the bush?
Hide in the bush.
Throw
Just
out
like
a hook.
FLICKR. Hide on bush.
Name was famous for his ability to orb walk and really dodge skill shots, especially on low mobility champions. Now, Lucian is one of his signature picks, but he was also a really big Kog'Maw player. And it used to be that when Deft and Imp were in Korea, we had Name and Uzi, and it was like Uzi and Imp, same aggressive forward frontline ADC, very flashy. And then Name and Deft were very similar in that they were fairly passive, although Devil was much more aggressive than Name. Of course, this was before he changed his name, so same player, different identities.
If I'm not wrong, a couple of splits ago, actually no, way more than a couple. So 3 or 4 splits ago, Name was playing on the second roster for RNG when they had 10 players running around.
And he came back in his first game with Insect. We called them R&B, and he got a pentakill
Oh,
on
wow.
Lucian.
Well, that definitely checks out. You know, of course, Lucian is a massive Uzi pick. So his massive rise to power as well on that pick that happened to be activated for the LPL that one time.
Man, look at this. Kid's going for a gank here, Pulse. Will he
is indeed
succeed?
Fish.
He's trying to gank
I don't
up
know, you
Thresh
tell me.
Ezreal lane, and he's got a Janna, so
I'm
not
gonna go
quite
with no.
sure. I'm gonna say that's a hard no.
Like, also the fact that we can probably criticize Kid more out of any of these players right now because he literally just finished his career.
Korn
so-
is still playing. He's not
Yeah.
dead.
Look,
on the red team.
look. How has Korn not gotten 4 kills in his lane? This is disappointing.
True, he is facing down a Victor who is basically just going to clear the wave forever, so it is kind of difficult for him to do something. But
I mean, if you think about it, Korn
Yeah.
was on the Starhorn Royal Club team when they were in the World Finals. So his opponent, Harley, he's bowled because of Korn. If Korn had won that
Wow.
final, oh, this is where the grudge match is in this game. It's all in the mid lane
stole
right
his
now.
hair.
He stole his hair. He stole Victor's hair. I'm never gonna forget that.
Technically, all of these players have shaved his head. None of them have won a championship.
But Korn
Oh,
was
that's
the
true.
closest.
it's more his
He
fault
was right there.
than the rest of them. If we're assigning blame, then there's like at least 70%.
I mean, Korn is his lane opponent, but really, if he wants to blame the closest, he just looks at Kid like, where were you in 2015?
This is your fault. Well, anyway,
Well, anyway, I have hair, so...
so you know that's pretty cool.
You know, he could have luscious hair, too. Do you ever think that you look at a skill and you just don't practice it, and you're like,
Yeah.
I could actually be a god if I invested time into this? For all that guy knows, he could have luscious hair, the greatest hair in the world, but unfortunately, the LPL's international failings, the world will never see.
But there's got to be pictures of, you know, pre-boldness.
I don't
we
know,
need to find
5
that.
years is a long time to be bald.
It's not forever, though.
He doesn't even remember
It's
what
not like the
having hair on
Big
his head
Bang
is like.
happened and he just popped into existence. You know, I'll tell you what, for a show match in 7 minutes and 30 seconds, the fact that we've had 0 kills
Alright.
is making me quite upset.
They're tricking us, right? We are secretly just doing extra work casting the LCK with names changed. 'Cause this is what it feels like at the moment.
Wow, we've all just been
Come
bamboozled.
on, my name is not
You-
Matt Atlas Anderson.
Are we just throwing shade at every region right now?
Yes.
So who's on the hit list? All right, who have we not
We've
hit?
got the LCK.
We've
Do
hit
we
the
even,
LPL.
Do we even try NA, or is it just mean at that
That's
point?
too.
Oh,
That's
no.
yeah, this probably mean.
Oh, cool.
That was wide.
Misses everything.
And gets stunned under tower.
Take it away for us, Garen.
Oh, right. Olaf has to flash at. Sorry, I wasn't ready.
Okay, well, it's fine. We'll set you up for the
Oh,
next
he
one.
flashes forward, looks for the Q, doesn't find it, immediately eats an E right there. Getting locked up, trying to chase him out with the Chaos Storm, and the cleanup, Hoover is enough.
Boom. Double
Up.
kill picked up by Kid.
Squish.
That's hard.
Look, I thought we discussed casting aside. You see, it looks like we don't know what the damn thing we're doing.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be the analyst. So right there what happened
You're
is
the
that
main play-by-play pulse.
Korn lost his mind, decided to not dodge any of the skill shots, and almost traded 1-for-1 on the initial dive, then got over-aggressive and was punished immediately for it. So good cleanup kill from Victor means he's going to get a very early upgrade to his Hex score.
So what Frost just showed is that we actually just don't need play-by-plays. You can both play-by-play and analyze as a color caster.
You know, if I was ready, I would have done much better. It's actually every color caster's dream to be a play-by-play. Because, like, they don't have to think. They don't have to do anything. I'm over here doing stat work and color coding and highlighting everything, and these guys just yell.
You're pretty spot on.
Yeah, pretty accurate.
That was every color caster's voice. I just had to, like, put them all together.
All the anger.
That's actually the conversation I had with our Chinese teacher last Thursday.
Oh, yeah?
She walked in and said, oh, everyone who came for lessons before you said that they're really busy today. Are you busy? I was like, no, playing video games. She's like, why are you not busy? And I had to explain to her why I'm not busy, because I'm a play caster and I just come in and start yelling, whereas all the color casters had to prep. Unfortunate.
Rest in peace.
So right now, Kid has all of the gold.
Huh?
That was my analysis.
Oh, right, I see. Yeah, 2-0 in this game. He's got all of the kills on Team DD. That's red team, I believe.
Yeah, Uber is blue.
Uber's blue. And yeah, we're seeing the classic blue build going on to Ezreal. I'm not seeing anything out of the ordinary in terms of builds either. I'm actually quite disappointed. I was expecting to see a lot of innovation.
It has been a hot minute, though, since we've seen a Lucian, and he did get changed on 8.4. I believe he got damage to his double up, so the second shot actually does more, and it also applies a higher crit. And what's interesting here is this doesn't fix Lucian's problems as an ADC, but it does make him stronger as a solo laner. So the #1 problem with Lucian as an ADC is that he can't control and manipulate the minion wave when he wants to trade. He is forced to also push the wave. You can say, well, Tristana has that too. Well, Tristana also hyperscales.
Okay, this has got to result in at least a kill. Nope, the fish has missed once again, and Name and Cloud will make it out.
Story of my life.
To be fair, that guy actually plays in the LPL, and that has been 2 whipped
That's true, yeah.
We saw a lot of Lucian being picked up in the mid lane last year, but moving into this split, we have not seen him at all.
Cloud9 and Echo Fox, hello. Top lane, Licorice and Huni.
I don't watch that region.
Oh,
I don't watch wildcard regions.
Korn is also trading up at the side as well.
We are watching a lot of fights right now.
We definitely are. FLICKR, would you like this?
Oh, so everything is happening on the side of the map. Everyone is split up. No one is dead. Victor is walking away, and here comes Fizz. He's finally on the board.
Oh no, he took his hair away again. Lucky's up there trying to see if he can execute. Cloud repels up, jumps down. Korn's there, smites him for the kill.
And Name now locked up, tried to dodge that one. Was predicted. And Korn doesn't even need the lantern. He's like, this tower walk is easy. 3rd time's the charm.
Well, that was 3 kills, and it could almost become a cross-map ace right now as Olaf goes underneath the tower, but starts to regret his life choice and decides to back away.
You can't take the god going. You guys just yell, right?
That's all we do.
Yeah, pretty much.
That is our job. If you want us to yell very loud, we can do that. We can do it at the same time if you want.
Korn is bloodthirsty. Teleports back up. God going doesn't have dominance available, so he is actually quite squishy, but Korn doesn't have ult.
Korn's the
3rd
actual
time's
jungler
the
of this
charm,
team.
Korn. We should be able to get this one. Oh, yeah, it's point blank. There we
He did
go.
it. He finally hit his fish.
See.
Straight shot.
Okay, well,
now the
bottom lane.
Godfather himself versus Kid.
He's not
This
gonna
is
be able
one
to
for the
kill him here,
ages.
surely. He's got collateral damage. It's not going to be quite enough damage as FCZF will come in.
Uh-oh.
Wow, the hook has landed.
Taking a lot of creep
there.
damage.
He's probably just going to chase him down. He's got the shield as well.
Name, what are you doing?
I'm helping.
Seriously, he was a legend in his time. That's the problem with these show matches, is because you see this, it's like, was Name really a legend in his time?
That's also his old support. FCZF and Name with the 2014-2015 EDG combo before Mako took over.
Oh, surprise. Korn is somewhere on the map that's not mid lane.
No, back into the bot lane. You could have repelled over that.
Look, he's still looking for it. Nope. No, we're not.
Hey, Fizz is another champion we haven't seen too much of lately. He was very popular in the mid lane when he was released, went into the top lane and was an assassin up there, an attack speed on hit, damage dealer, a tank at one point. But we haven't seen too much of him.
Predict that we'll see more Fizz, and I'm not the only person who's made this prediction. I think Papa Smithy's also talked about it in the LCK. FLICKR and Rookie have also spoken about it, and it's simply because Syndra is starting to come back, does really well into the banner creeps because she can just pick them up and toss them back at you. She's doing well into the current itemization and current mid lane matchups. And so if Syndra comes back, Fizz does become a niche option available if you start to pinch the mid lane for his ability to dodge the ultimate and have some kill pressure on her so she can't just automatically get out to a side lane, use Fog of War, and punish you.
Potentially see Fizz coming back, but I really want to know who... Oh, they're going against God going here, folks.
They are indeed.
This will
In comes
only end
Korn
poorly
once again.
for him.
He just needs to click his Q button. He just
Doesn't
needs to
have
find it on
flash.
his keyboard. There it is. He's got the kill.
Founder's got it.
Korn didn't even bother with the fish. He's like, I don't even need to waste this on you. You are nothing before me.
Poor God going. You see, this is what happens when you put him on a Renekton and he doesn't have his onesie ready for the match.
I'm sure it's underneath the jacket.
He's ready to
He's just
rip
going
it
to
off.
take the jacket
Yeah.
off when he finally gets his kill.
So the nice thing about Syndra coming back means that Fizz comes back, which means Westall comes back.
Oh boy. Rip.
We
Best
got
counter
real
to,
deep in there.
Best counter to Westall is take the east entrance.
That's a good one. Okay.
Okay, TP's coming in the top line. It is going. And he's
Oh,
going
no.
to
He's actually
teleport out.
teleporting
Oh, no.
out.
Is it the
Brody
Solar?
Field!
No!
Oh, he's locked in place. Disco ball comes out. He didn't really want to dance.
I swear he missed that.
Meanwhile,
That
they
was
go
a
for
giant
fight bottom
hitbox.
lane. Naome's being locked down. Cloud just leaves him to die. FCZF tries to hook him back. Doesn't connect.
Doesn't have a lot of options right there.
Uh-oh.
Wasn't Korn just top?
He was, but now he's bot lane. And he didn't even use teleport for that one.
Screw Lucky. Korn's the real jungler in this match.
Korn is actually just smurfing right now.
Yeah.
6-1-1. This Fizz is a massive
I
deal.
would like to check in with League Ops. I think this is a competitive ruling. We said that this was a show match between Legacy players. Korn still plays in the LPL. This is blatantly cheating.
I wasn't aware he was able to start for 2 teams at once.
Yeah, this is not okay. You know, I was going to ask before the game started who is more likely to pick up this game, but I feel like now that I see a 6-1-1 Fizz on my screen, it's slightly easier to predict.
So this is where Kid stands up and says, you know what, I'm actually retired, and we just see Clear Love walk out from the back and say, I've got this, guys.
I mean, if we really want to be analytical about this, the problem with there being a 6-1-1 Fizz against this composition is that they don't have a true tank. They have maybe some superficial tankiness with Renekton when he pops ultimate, but that dude's not going to build tank. Look at his items. He's going to build full damage Renekton. And so at any point, what is it, Uber?
The blue team.
Blue team.
Yeah, Uber here on the blue team can just run into a side lane, and there's nothing that D can do to match in the side lane. That said, I don't think Korn's going to do that. I think he's going to continue to teleport around the map and kill people.
This is a fun match to watch. We get to see a lot of champions we don't see quite often. I think you're the lucky one, so to speak, here, Pulse, because a lot of your favorite champions have actually been played this split.
They have, but I've not been able to cast any of them because apparently I'm just never there. However, Korn is going to walk into this bush and find a crab, but find much, much more.
He just walked by!
Wait, you can't just leave your support. Get back in there.
They're still going for a fight. Kid's flashing forward for this one. Heal's being used as well. Hawkeye's trying to run away. Hook is on from FCZF as Xiaomei comes in from the back line. Oh, somehow Victor is still alive. Going's moving into back lines. And Ezreal's joined the fight. Korn gets the first one.
He's turned up. He's looking for Going. He's firing skill shots left and right. He doesn't really know where he wants to go. But now he's chasing down Name. And he'll get killed by the tower. Multiple kills. 4 kills, in fact, over to Uber.
And Wei Xiao finds his revenge as he picks up the kill credit, now looking for Cloud, does get the double kill. And like I said, if Fizz wasn't enough, he's now 7-1. They have complete side lane control, and all of this gold now got spread around every single one of the carries. 2-0-4, 1-1-4. They are a massive team.
All right, important question. Is this a best of 3?
I think it's just one game.
That's unfortunate.
We're in the NALCS now. BO1s.
Well, apparently it is indeed one game, which is unfortunate. I feel like we should definitely switch up the teams at some point.
So my favorite part of this play, and the thing that you really need to pay attention to, is that Q on the side.
I'll see you later.
And the moment is he's like, do I still go top? Oh, you need me to help you. Because that dude was just looking at the tower.
They read him like a book, though. They saw Korn go to bottom lane. Where is he going to go next? It's not mid lane. He's going straight to the top side map. They tried to set up the gank. It didn't work.
He should just change his name to Ping Pong.
Now, why can't he do this when he actually plays for TOP?
Well, I don't know. Maybe if he wasn't playing against a Lucian Jono.
And people haven't played the game for like, 5 years.
I refuse to believe that these players have not played the game in the past 4 days.
I mean, most recently, Name was a top laner in the LPPL, which was the reserve league for the LPL. We actually used to have 3 leagues in our region. LSPL, which was our secondary or challenger circuit, and then the LPL, which was our professional circuit, and then the LPPL, which was our reserve.
How did the LPPL work?
Well, the difference between the LSPL and the LPPL was that if you basically every team had like a sister team or a academy team, if you will, down into it. And if you were on that roster versus the LSPL, you go to the LSPL because you want to promote a new organization into the LPL. Yep. You go into the LPPL if you want to actually start in the LPL. And there were interesting roster window rules in where if you didn't start for the week of the reserve league, you could start immediately in the LPL.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so if you wanted to try to prove yourself and be on the bench behind someone and then work up and overpass them, you would go into the reserve league.
It's very similar to a traditional sports regular league and a prime league division, so to speak.
Yeah,
really
the infrastructure in China has been very strong for a long time. Now we've abolished our secondary leagues. We just have the League Development League, which has 20 different regions, I believe, or 20 different teams sitting in it right now, and it's split up into 4 different regions. and that feeds directly into the LPL. We will promote a team every single year. I think we're moving up into 16 teams by next year, and then hopefully 20 teams by 2020.
And then it will stop. We won't just increase
We will
growing
keep growing. We will
indefinitely.
have 100 teams.
And then we'll continue to also add new cities and new arenas. So we already have 4 arenas in Hangzhou, Chongqing, Chengdu, and Shanghai.
Yep.
And we'll be adding 2 more, I believe, by next year.
Well, before these two teams start killing each other, I've got an interesting discussion I got to have
What's
with
that, Fish?
Clement. The LPL is one of the few leagues that allows you to have multiple substitutes, which is really interesting because when we head in towards international, the LPL teams always have to pick
can only
one
take
player.
one.
So I'm curious, is it going to be the LPL that starts to adapt towards only having one, or does the international team start adapting to having more than one sub?
Well, I think it's kind of majority, and if the other international teams aren't only have one sub, then I think the LPL actually just has to adapt there. But part of the reason why they do it is, again, this infrastructure has been in place for so long in the LPL that they've had so many different teams, although might need to shelf this. He's going in.
Oh yeah, he's definitely turned this one around. Olaf wants in, but Olaf now wants out. He wasn't in the middle of 4 people by himself. That was a classic solo queue Yasuo player.
Can
I've
he
seen.
hit
Was that
a
Gillian?
fish? Is that 1 out of 5 fish?
I think so. It's not a great hit rate.
Used his Q to get out of the gravity field. Toss thing? What's it called?
Yeah, you got it. It's gravity field.
Gravity field.
See, this is what happens when colors cast, because you need skill names, and all colors.
Do you know your ability names?
He
They
got out
refer
of the
to
E.
skills as like what they do versus like what they're called.
I don't think I've ever said a skill name.
It's like QWER passive, ultimate.
Well, they've got Rift Herald in the bottom lane. That takes down the bottom lane in the turret.
And unfortunately, there's just not a lot of wave clear options. You have Lucian and Victor, and yeah, Victor will be able to wave clear eventually, but he's been put so far down. He's so far behind the clock, especially for how amped Team Uber are on that blue side. He can't compete with this wave clear. This map is just going to get choked out from them. But back to talking about it, the infrastructure has been around so long in the LPL that I actually think a lot of the organizations are kind of farm organizations. You look to a team like EDG, who are the premier stable of a club in the LPL because they've been able to be so dominant for so long with such a diverse cast on their roster. And part of that is because they home grow their talent, because the mentality in China is that these clubs aren't, 5 players, they're like 40 players. And they run these academy leagues and these 5v5s and these boot camps and these training camps, and they find these young players and then they grow them up and make superstars.
I mean, we see a lot of teams have strategic substitutes. I mean, one of the more famous ones was back when SKT still had EasyHoon. They swapped out EasyHoon as well as FLICKR for similar but a little bit different play styles. But in traditional sports, we see a lot of the time that you need more than one substitute for different positions. And it's almost even more so in League of Legends because although players have off roles that they can play, like World 6, we've seen them play as an AD carry a few times here and there. Normally, when you have a substitute, that's a sub for a certain position.
Sure.
So if RNG go to MSI, for example, and they bring Casa as well as MLXG, but their support falls sick, which one of those 2 Muppets is going to have to play support?
And that's the thing, we used to have this conversation all the time. Do you bring a jack-of-all-trades type of player in case there is an illness? Because, again, in 2014 EDG, Name got very, very sick. Had to go to the hospital. When he was playing on the day, he was very ill. If they had had a competent ADC sub or a sub that could fill multiple positions, would that have saved EDG's chances when arguably they should have been their best to make an international statement?
And like a role per role does definitely make sense, but I think in terms of like this split and how it's working for the LPL, like you're totally right. RNG, like they have multiple people to play in the top lane, the jungle, even the AD carry position,
don't
even
get
though
me
that's
started on the AD
unlikely.
carries.
Yeah, but that's more unlikely, right? Like it's likely that we could see a difference in top lane with Let Me and Tatai, jungle with Caster and MLXG, right? That's pretty likely, but if you're only able to take one sub, then that becomes a decision for the team.
Oh, lucky. I guess I'll play by play. He finds the E, but nothing else finds him. Name returns with the relentless pursuit, forcing them off, but a nice redemption comes through, and there is the big flank. Olaf is running a rampage in the back line.
No, he's not. He's dead.
Chased out by the Chaos. It's hard, okay? Things go fast.
See, that's the problem, because sometimes you commit to something that's wrong, and it's like, well, I'm already
The words,
I'm already
they
deep.
take too
Let's
long to
go.
come out of my face!
Ladies and gentlemen, that's what happens when you run headfirst into a team 1-on-5 as Olaf and you realize your team is 10,000 gold behind. That's my expert analysis.
His team is ahead. Your analysis
right.
is wrong.
It's wrong.
He's
This is
up.
what I'm playing. I'm up. I'm gone. See ya.
All right, I'll see you later.
It's fine.
That's
Lucky's in
not
the
a
pit.
duocast.
He is known as his smite secures, but here comes Kid Kid. The experience, the recency. Can he do it? You gotta
I
get in
can't
the
see
pit.
anything, and they've actually just engaged.
What? What? No! Get back in there and start fighting!
Hey, this
I
is
will
the
not
LPL.
have this from you!
We need another Baron
Whoa,
steal.
whoa, here's the analysis. Look at their team comp. How are they going to survive that? Their only tank literally just did Uber Eats into the back line and fed for free.
That was topical. I like it.
Well, that's the problem. They don't have anyone to take the Baron. Talmay is like, I'm going to show you who a real man is, goes into 4 people, immediately blows up, and suddenly there's no one to stand in front of the Baron. FCZF's health was so low because he was the sacrificial lamb that had to tank it, which means that even though they find a good team fight and a good pick, they're unable to execute on it.
I like how you could see the precise moment of regret that Olaf had as well. Like when he went into the backline, he's like, oh, but I've still got a bit left of my ultimate, so I can maybe make it out. And he made like 2 steps before dying.
Special delivery.
At that point, you just go in. It's like, just die a warrior, you know?
I don't know
like,
how much
die in a
more he
blaze of
could have
glory.
gone in there.
That Olaf was me when I wake up in the morning and a JD delivery has arrived to our house, FLICKR, and they've rung our doorbell 16 times, and I have to listen to Mozart over and over and over again.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Oh,
Isn't it Burley's?
it is
I've been to
the
your house.
worst doorbell.
Oh boy. That's 2 Cloud Dragons being picked up by Uber.
So it should be the exact same play from Uber here on the blue side. They're just going to try to set up picks. They have great competition to do that. Thresh Hook as well as the Elise E there. Hopefully, Talmay doesn't go crazy and just run full hog into the back line again. He started at a strawberry and he left a jam.
That's good.
Only-
Used to 5 out of
We
7.
could make a play-by-play caster out of you.
I can't talk fast enough.
You don't
which
have
is
to talk
hilarious
fast.
because everyone's like, she talks too fast.
I can't understand her.
That was Twitch chat.
He
by the
did
way.
it! Corn hit an ultimate! Now he's gonna kill Cloud! Woo!
I mean, he's so fed at this point. If he lands an ultimate, whoever he hits is super dead.
Oh, Kid's being chased down by Talmay as well. Takes a little bit of damage. Not too afraid about that. Going decides he wants to be a big crocodile, because why the hell not?
You're defensive. You didn't see them. You definitely saw them, but he's like, in case they come.
I don't care about what he did and why he did. I just care that he did.
And they've actually, DD here have completely given up on the Baron. As I say that, they immediately turned like, guys, they were just, like 14 seconds
Yeah, I
a
think
little
they
bit
just
slow.
realized it was happening more than anything else. Korn is waiting for the assassinate though on the sidelines. He's looking at Name
On a ward.
on a ward.
God going. No ultimate available. Does he jump in? Gets hooked up by
He
FCZF.
doesn't have
Very
ult.
low. Tries to dice back out. Korn jumps in. Jumps on top of Kid. Kid trying to cut this one back. Sonya is going to keep him alive. Hawkeye also trying to cut this one back. But now they're stuck here, Pulse. There's nowhere for them to run.
Oh, they are indeed. Lucky goes for the 1-for-2 special, but ends up getting neither. Oh, no, he managed to get one in the end with Voltar's battling and finds the second. Oh, that was a 3,000 IQ play that my brain just couldn't comprehend.
And Kid had no idea that Lucky was on his flank. Just got sucker punched there.
Oh no, it's just not looking good for Uber.
Yeah, but the team who is still, over 10k gold. Cloud, can he do it with the tornado? The elimination
Nope.
is way too early.
No, it's not going to happen. And you know what? I can't be an animalist. That's 2 times in a row. I've just completely messed up.
just
That's
say
not Uber, it's
animalist?
DD. See,
I'm
I can't
an
even do words.
animalist.
I can't even do words.
You are the platypus of analysts.
Oh, God. Make it stop.
I do like Clement's analogies though. He's been stepping up recently. For sure.
Who did he want to lock in the basement again?
Ning.
Ning. Oh, God.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh.
Look, Clement says some interesting things from time to time.
Just a
So
deadpan
the
delivery.
big problem with this play is that Going doesn't have his ultimate. He popped it about 15 seconds previously in the mid lane, so not only is he hit with the CC, but even if he goes in, what's he supposed to do? Uber hadn't taken enough damage from the Baron there, and then this is the sucker punch. The fact that the E hits Name and Kid is still committing, he's like, I really need the Scrom.
And I thought the Elise was dead for sure there, but nope, he managed to pick up both kills, so
Yeah,
I'm the
managing
fool.
to get into the repel before Name was able to turn and find the, double tap?
Yep.
Q? Piercing Light.
Q is Piercing Light.
Oh, nailed it!
The passive is Light Slinger.
And
The
then
double
Relentless
tap.
Pursuit and Gatling Gun.
Come on, you can do it. It's the item that you can pick up for 450 gold as an 80 carry.
When you want to get rid of like a lot of the species, like in the Great Emu War, you what to the emus? You did what?
You
What do you buy if you don't buy a Doran's Blade?
You
a Doran Shield.
No, the other one.
Doran's Ring?
No,
the other one.
For 80 carries. Alright, we're not going to get there as a team fight. Hold on. It's the culling.
It's the culling.
But the team fight. Look at Uber go. They're already on top of the Nexus.
Oh, there it is. There's the culling.
It gets used, but it's too little too late. Name can't defend this one. The Nexus is just going to fall here, Pulse.
Yeah, it's absolutely gone. But FLICKR, have you got a win moment lined up for us? I don't know why I said that like an Irishman, but there you go.
And after 5 years, Wei Xiao and FCZF finally take the crown again.
And Hawkeye has to wait once again for his hair to grow back.
Because it won't be today.
Because it would not be today. Did not get his revenge against Korn.
I'm having a hard time with my cable here.
It's on the other side. How do I cope?
Oh no, I'm on the wrong spot. Hang on.
Yeah, same. One sec.
I'm not used to being on this side of the desk. It's so weird.
See, I have to move left instead of right, which is what's confusing me.
You can see that Team DD on your screen right now, not looking too pleased with that loss. Whereas on the other side, a lot of chuckles coming out of Lucky.
Yeah, it's like, so this is it's best of 5, right?
I feel like this was an unfair advantage. They were basically against 3 members of World Elite, the most dominant team that for like Season 2 internationally and domestically. That was FCCF, Wei Xiao, and Tao Mei.
There's still got to be a competitive ruling going out there against Korn. You can't play for 2 teams at once during a competitive season, and you also, you know, at least Kid did the right thing. He retired last week, and then he came and played the show match.
Exactly.
I think Korn has to at least do that.
So, competitive ruling, it is in fact Team DD, which will take the win here.
But this is actually a really special moment. So, former team members, again, Tao Mei and Wei Xiao in the front leading there, and they do get to take another bow for the LPL arena. The first time since 2014.
It's not like these guys are veterans, but for some reason, they always can't quite synergize these bows. And 5 years later, here we are. One by one, they fall. It's my expert analysis. Wow. What the heck do you want me to say?
This is supposed to be a special moment.
And you killed it.
And real talk, it's been a pleasure. Like I said, watching that memories video, I've pretty much seen every single one of these plays. I feel like I've been around for a very long time watching all of these moments, and I know that there are a couple of moments in particular that I do always get choked up watching. You know, AJ winning his regional qualifier in 2016. And one of those was also the retirement of Wei Xiao, which came a little bit too early. I felt like he was really in his prime when he was retired, but Miss Bear strikes again. That's the same on solo queue. I can see the confused looks on your face.
It's not just that. You're the host, Indiana. Take us through the stats.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. So the game has ended. I'm your host. The blue side was named Team DD. The red side was, excuse me, blue side was Team Uber. The red side was Team DD. And you can see that Wei Xiao and Karu, the old World Elite squad, has reigned supreme. So guys, break me down that game. What's your analysis? What happened?
Well, one team had Korn, a current competitive player, and the other team had Kid, who is no longer a competitive player, and the Fizz got fed, and the game ended.
And Fish, do you concur there?
Pretty much.
That's great, guys. Yeah, a big problem was that the Fizz got so fed that he was bouncing between a lot of the lanes, and then if you looked at the makeup of Team DD, they didn't really have a lot of options. You don't have any sort of frontline tank. The best you have is Renekton. He's not itemizing tank anyway. He's really far behind on the gold scale, so even in a straight 5v5, they were never going to win. The best chance for Team DD were to isolate and to look for picks and find skirmishes, but they got a Janna! Where are they going to find the picks?
All right, pause. Real talk here. Like, Indiana just showed that she could be the host as well as do the analysis.
Right.
On top of that, we need to kick her off and start hosting again before she takes our
That's true.
jobs.
She's actually shown too much.
No, this is not
That's the problem.
allowed.
We're about to lose our jobs.
We
I'm
need
a
to fight for our
triple
jobs.
threat.
But even though we could break down that game and go deep into the analysis, a lot of it was all about how these are legacy players. You know, this was a fun show match. Didn't mean anything. There was no prizes to be won besides for Halai's hair to be, you know, kind of fought back and, you know, gets revenge against Korn. But it's more about the LPL. 5 years already of the LPL. Yes, League of Legends has been around in China for much longer, but there's also been tournaments in the LPL before the LPL in China too.
And now I actually have a question for you guys, because you are newer to the LPL squad. I know Fish, you joined us in 2015, then went back to the OPL. Pulse, you joined us in 2017.
17.
17, maybe end of 2016. What have been your highlights? Because I know there's been a new era of the LPL. There's one starting again in 2018. I know I've got my memories, but anything that jump out to you guys?
I think it's more about the league holistically, because I came from the EU LCS, right? And like the league is very different to EU. Like LPL, they'll just go in. If it's just like a matter of, can we win this game? I don't know. Let's just throw ourselves at the enemy and see if we can just outplay them, because you have so much star talent in the LPL. That's a viable option. Like a lot of the time, you'll take a look at the team in a different region and be like, well, we have to play towards our win conditions. Do we pick the right champions? Is this even feasible for us to go for? And even if it isn't technically in terms of a team composition play, it is because you have the players.
It's just like throw all the strategy out, Fish.
It also makes the league incredibly bloody. Like we talk about it all the time. There's so much action taking place. There's never really any dull moments except for when you have Team WE playing and they decide they want to wait until 55 minutes before they win a match. But you know, that's sometimes. But there's still a lot of action that takes place in the LPL. My favorite moment was still when IME were able to qualify for the World
famous
Championship.
call.
That was so amazing to watch because they ran the gauntlet. Almost every single match went to 5 games, and then poor Team WE who thought that they were shoo-ins into the tournament from the gauntlet, get smacked 10,000 gold behind by one teleport play by Amazing J.
It's also one of my favorite photos from another regional qualifier. There's a very famous photo of FLICKR, and he's being led off the stage, and the spotlight is on him, and he has his head down. It's just his back, and he's being escorted by his player manager. It was FLICKR's birthday at the time, and they had to play a regional qualifiers, all three best of threes in a single day. Snake played 15 games to barely miss making worlds there.
And if the final match between IMA and TWE was so close, imagine Snake could have probably done the same thing if they won that match. That was heartbreaking for them. They had SOFM on the team for a couple of years, then they looked like they had re-identified how they're going to play, and it didn't work out for them.
Yeah, Crystal looked absolutely destroyed. His hair was like perfect at the start of the day, and then by the end it was just like a wreck, and they were just head in hands. You could tell that the players were so exhausted. Like, that was a true test of endurance.
I mean, it was a straight-up marathon for an entire day. Just let 15 games sink in for a second. Like, that is a full day of game. You wake up, you game, and you go to sleep. That's 15 games right there. Like, there was no time to do anything else. So the fact that they did look disheveled makes a whole lot of sense.
Okay, well, that's cool. Sorry. The producer's talking in my head.
That's why I was trying to talk through all that time. I was like, don't worry, guys. I'll fill the time and allow for us to listen to the producer. But we
are going to go ahead and take a look at tomorrow's matches. Give us a little bit refresher. We just finished up on our celebration of the 5th anniversary. But tomorrow, OMG versus Rogue Warriors in Chengdu. And then in Chongqing, it is going to be Snake versus RNG. And this is actually a close one. We decided on Rogue Warriors versus Snake for our game of the week. But in a tight second race, it was going to be RNG versus Snake.
And that game did deliver. That was a great best of 3. The second game in particular was super fun to watch. Just looking at that first game, OMG, it seems like this week they just came here to get spanked. Like, that, it just doesn't feel good. They won at the start of the week. RNG, that wasn't even really a best of 3. Coming into the second series, like, OMG are on a massive slide right now. And you look at patch 8.4 and you'd be like, oh, Icon, this is your time to shine. You know, Assassins are starting to creep back into the meta. Like, when are you going to be able to step it up? And Icon's shown some good stuff, but it's not enough for the team to make it happen.
And even though it is going to be a top of the table against bottom of the table clash in game number 1, you have to remember that this is SMLG's chance to get revenge. Every single one of the players from Rogue Warriors have beaten their former team. And now it's just up to SMLZ. We could potentially see him smile. Finally, some emotion from the man.
And okay, that is going to be the last stop on the revenge tour for Rogue Warriors tomorrow. But that's all from us. We've completed 2 series, a show match, and we're going to go home. Thanks for joining us, guys. Be sure to tune in tomorrow because we've got some banger of a matches tomorrow.